Okay, so we're back, and this is after our restart. So we're gonna go ahead. Um, I get out of here. We're gonna go ahead and see and make sure we've got all our stuff installed. Yep, there's our Visual Studio. We'll go ahead and click it. It's gonna tell me that I'm an administrator, so I have to click yes every time. We're gonna go ahead and run our Visual Studio. Since this is the first time I've started it, it might take a minute or two. You'll want to make sure that you have at least 8 gigs of memory to run Visual Studio. Otherwise, it's gonna be sucky. I believe I have 8 gigs on this machine here. Let's just double check, shall we? System on this PC, right click, more properties. 8 gigs, 64-bit system. Okay. So Visual Studio will start up here. It'll welcome you to Visual Studio. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So if you don't have an account, it'll ask you to create one. Create an account. I suggest you do that. Go ahead and create yourself an account. And once you create an account, you'll get a login here that'll ask you to authenticate to the account that you're using. So that's what I'm going to do. Here's another account. I've got like a million passwords here. And a million emails. So whatever email you use, you want to make sure that you have a Visual Studio subscription. You'll have the community or the dev subscription. It's free. And that's one you'll want to use when you're logging into Visual Studio because that's the one that'll be licensed to what you're using. So this will take a minute or two to get my IDE set up. And once it does, we should be able to start to download a few things that we're going to use in our Visual Studio. So right off the bat, you get the screen that asks you if you want to clone a repository, open a project, open a local folder, or create a project. I'm going to continue without code. And you should get a box that'll pop up that'll ask you to set up your environment for a specific type of environment, development environment. Um, I didn't get that, which is different. So I'm going to come up here to the extensions. I'm sorry, yeah, to the extensions, manage extensions. The first thing I'm going to grab is the GitHub extension for Visual Studio. And that will allow you to um, um, check out and check in stuff from Visual Studio into your GitHub. So you want to download that. And the thing about these extensions is it'll do the install, and then it will ask you to restart your Visual Studio down there to pick up the install. So there's one there. There's a couple other ones that we use at work that I'm not going to get into. Let's see. Oh, you'll want to use Live Share. Make sure you've got that. That's very important. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Uh, we are going to, let's see here, look at the SDKs, look at online. A little scrub here. I don't see anything that's just jumping out at me yet. I know a guy that would tell me, hey, put this on there, put that on there. But we're not going to do all that yet. Okay. Oh, you'll want to use IO Spy. That's very important, and that gives you the ability to take an already compiled piece of code and to decompile it and see what's in the code. That's actually really cool if you're missing source code. Let's see, got that already. Did I say nope? I didn't see that there. And okay, we'll leave it at that. So say close. And if you're running your Visual Studio in an administrative mode, you'll see admin up here. And if you click it, it'll tell you that you've got Visual Studio in admin mode here. So I'm just going to go ahead and restart this. I'm going to exit out. Oh, screen will pop up here to install the stuff that I've decided to download here. So there's your IL spine, your GitHub. Say modify. It will install the GitHub extension and the IL Spy extension into your Visual Studio instance. So it downloads it, creates a Windows restore point, and then it will do the install for you. And then you can just relaunch your Visual Studio once that's done. In the meantime, what you'll need is you'll need to go over to your GitHub account if you've got one. If not, you can share with me. So let me go to my GitHub account. GitHub. There I am. There's my GitHub account. Let me know if you want to link to my GitHub and I can give you permissions. So I'll go to our repositories because we're going to need to have some of this information when we get ready to link our authenticate to our GitHub. What we'll definitely need, if you've got a GitHub account, go ahead and get over here. If not, sign up for an account, go to your profile, and there's some information there that you'll need. I'm going to pause the video so I can get my profile information and get it taken care of, and we can get logged into GitHub. Okay, I've gone ahead and I have relaunched my Visual Studio. I'm going to come up to the Team Explorer and click the little Manage Connections, and you'll see you can either link to your DevOps account. Now, if you have signed up for a Visual Studio subscription, you can go over and sign up for a DevOps subscription. I'm just going to use GitHub because it uses Git. They both use Git, but GitHub's a little bit more popular, I think. So I'm going to click Connect. It's going to ask me to go ahead and sign in with my credentials. And for some odd reason, I cannot see. It'll say sign in with your browser. I'm going to click sign in with my browser. And it's doing some funkiness here. I don't know what's going on here. That didn't look right there. Click Manage Connections. Connect to GitHub. Why can't I see? Huh. That's kind of weird. Let me sign out. Let me sign back in again. That's weird. I don't see why I don't. Usually you have like a username and a password link there. Let me jump out of my browser there and let's see what happens here. It's not it's not it's not linking me the right way. That's kind of weird. Let me pause that and see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, this is acting a little bit stranger than what I thought it was. It's actually linking, it's actually logging me in. And I'm betting it's because I am already signed in here. So let's do this. Let's sign out, connect, ask to get in with the browser. Yeah, that's what's happening. So I'm gonna use my password. So don't save. And now I'm logged in. Now I'm ready to clone a repository. So if I click clone, all the repositories that I have over here, I can grab. So let's go back over, and you see the local path here. So let's browse to the path that we had earlier, and that's the one in our documents folder. Documents. Right there. And actually, let's put it one up here. We'll actually right click and make a new folder. Say new folder. We'll call it repos. Repos. Let's say okay. Anything we clone will go into this folder. So let's see here. We cloned the C# fundamentals. So we'll clone that. Come over here to our documents folder. Let's just go ahead and, that's not the right one. That's my OneDrive one there. Crickets, let's see, documents. Oh, that's my OneDrive. What's going on there? Properties. Yeah. Documents here on the C drive. Wow. See me. There we go. I'm going to right click this and delete that folder. Because now if we look in here, we've got a C# fundamentals folder. So over here, we have all of these different selections now. We've got changes, pull requests, sync, pulse, issues, fork, branches, pull requests, again, tags, graphs, wiki, and settings. If you look down here in the solutions, you've got I've got 4 solutions in here and then another solution in here as well. What I'm going to do, and then down here, you'll see that right now this is the name of our repository. This is the branch that we're in. Right there. There's a repository. And this is the branch that we're in. So let's go ahead and open up lesson 1. So double click on lesson 1 here. Go over to Solution Explorer here in a minute. Since this is the first time I'm running this, it's going to take a little longer. It says we're ready to go. So here we have our Solution Explorer. We click Show All Files there. And open up this project. And I see I have this program.cs file. That's the one we did the PowerShell type on. And here we go. Actually, let me double click into it. And here we go. This is the first lesson, and it's doing it's just flipping words around. It's taking a string of data, and it's going to reverse it and flip the whole phrase around. So let me zoom in a little bit there. There we go. So you'll notice that we've got some words here that are backwards. Words and letters and numbers and stuff that are backwards. So our goal is to try to do these 4 things. Create a container for the words, Find if there's a way we can do what we need to do. Just flip the words around. We're going to create a new container for the new word, so we have an old container and a new container. And then we're going to perform the logic where we fill out the new container with the old container with the word reversed. With words reversed, I should say. So this will build. If I go up here to build and say build solution, I should not get any errors because it's a very, very bare bones basic solution and project. You see, I see build succeeded there. And let me set up my, there we go. Got all kind of little windows that I'm used to having up there that aren't up there. Open up a terminal too. Minimize that. And yeah, we'll leave it at that for right now. So let's do our first, actually, let's do something that we can actually get some output with. So in our output, or in our code, we're going to just create a simple little hello world application. So I'm going to insert an empty line here. I'm going to type console. It's actually lowercase. And if you see this, as I type, these words pop up, and that's called Intellisense. So it's going to help me do what I need to do. So I can type the first few letters of console class, CONS, and if I hit tab, it automatically populates everything for me. If I hit period, it gives me all of the methods and properties that I can use. I'm going to say write line, and I'm going to say hello world. And then I'm going to hit F5 because I want to debug this. Place a breakpoint over here in this area right here on my line of code. It'll stop right at my line of code here and fill it out in a yellow line. And if I hit F10, and come over here to my output, there's my hello world. And if I hit F5 again, it just completes my program. So that's a great way to see if your code is going to run or not, or to get used to running some actual code. So what we're going to do in the next video is we're actually going, there's one other thing that we're going to configure here. This is a very annoying, at least to me it is, it's a very annoying setting that's in Visual Studio that will keep this window open if you're done debugging. So we're going to go to Tools, Options, Debugging. Tools, Options, over here on the left, go down to Debugging, and then Output Window, nope, General, scroll down, should be a close window here somewhere. I probably just went right past it, probably. It's right, actually it's right here. Where you at? Automatically close the console when debugging stops. You want that on there because if you don't put that on there, this window will stay up there, and it's really annoying. So now if I F5 it, the window goes away on its own. So in the next video, we will actually write our first few lines of code.